Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The NFL world woke up today to a story that nobody saw coming. Former MVP quarterback Rich Gannon, one of the most respected voices in football commentary, dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through fans and analysts alike. During a live radio appearance, Gannon hinted that something big might be brewing inside the Raiders organization, something that could change the entire landscape of the 2025 NFL season. His tone wasn't casual, his words weren't empty. He spoke with a conviction that made people lean closer to their speakers. "I think the Raiders are not just back," he said, pausing for dramatic effect. "They might be the team that everyone else will be chasing soon." Instantly, social media exploded. Raiders fans flooded timelines with excitement, while skeptics rolled their eyes, remembering the years of false dawns. But this time it felt different. Gannon isn't a guy who throws words into the wind. He's a man who knows the pulse of the game. And if he's this confident, something's up. Could be a blockbuster trade, a secret new system, or perhaps a leadership change that's pushing the silver and black to greatness again. Whatever it is, the NFL just got a lot more interesting. When Rich Gannon talks about the Raiders, people listen because he was the Raiders. He carried the team on his back in the early 2000s, leading them to a Super Bowl appearance and cementing his place in franchise history. So, when he chooses to speak about the team's future, it's not idle chatter. Insiders have been whispering that the Raiders' front office has been unusually tight-lipped over the past few months. No leaks, no drama, just quiet confidence. That's often the calm before a storm. Gannon's remarks didn't come across as speculative. They sounded like a man who knows something. He praised the team's leadership and hinted that the locker room's chemistry has finally clicked. For years, the Raiders have struggled to balance talent and identity. But if Gannon's intuition is right, they may have found the missing ingredient. Imagine a team with that old-school Raiders toughness combined with modern NFL discipline. It's almost poetic, the once chaotic, misunderstood franchise possibly turning into a well-oiled contender. And if anyone can see that transformation before the rest of us, it's Rich Gannon. Of course, not everyone is buying it. Some analysts argue that Gannon's comments are simply nostalgic enthusiasm, the kind that old players get when they see a glimmer of their former glory. They claim that while the Raiders have talent, they're still in a brutally competitive AFC where teams like Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore dominate the conversation. But Gannon wasn't talking about potential. He was talking about inevitability. He mentioned how the Raiders' defense, often their Achilles heel, has become one of the most disciplined units in the league. He spoke about a quarterback who's finally commanding the huddle with authority, a coaching staff that's earning players' respect, and a front office that's prioritizing culture over chaos. That's not nostalgia, that's insight. The words Super Bowl contender are now being whispered across Vegas, and fans are daring to believe again. Maybe Gannon's just being optimistic, but there's an undercurrent of truth in his voice. Something tells me he's seen the spark, and the league might be in trouble because of it. The timing of Gannon's comments is curious too. The Raiders are fresh off a stunning preseason, where their second and third string players looked sharper than ever. It's not just about the starters anymore. The depth chart is stacked with hungry, disciplined talent, and that's often what separates good teams from great ones. Gannon referenced that in his interview, saying, "When you've got backups pushing starters every day, that's when you know you're building something real." It's the kind of line that gets fans dreaming but makes rivals nervous. The Raiders, once the punchline of the AFC West, are now looking like a team with a plan. The organization's culture has shifted. No more gambling on high-risk personalities or chasing flashy signings. Instead, they're building quietly, methodically. Gannon's tone reflected pride, but also warning. "People better start paying attention," he said, "because the Raiders aren't sneaking up anymore. They're coming straight for you." That's not a casual observation. That's a message. And in the NFL, messages like that don't come lightly. What's fascinating is how quickly this rumor has caught fire. Within hours of Gannon's remarks, major sports outlets started dissecting every sentence he uttered. Podcasts, talk shows, and fan forums are overflowing with speculation. Did Gannon speak with someone inside the organization? Was he hinting at a major trade or strategic shift? Some insiders are whispering that a high-profile free agent might be eyeing Vegas, drawn by the city's energy and the team's rising trajectory. Others believe the Raiders' coaching staff has unlocked something new offensively, a hybrid system blending old-school power football with explosive modern schemes. Whatever it is, the buzz feels different. This isn't just off-season hype. It feels grounded, substantial. Gannon's credibility gives it weight, and that weight is now pressing down on the entire AFC. The Raiders aren't just in the conversation. They might be the ones dictating it soon. And if that's true, the NFL landscape is about to get a major shakeup. And yet, there's a poetic irony in all of this. The Raiders, a team once synonymous with dysfunction, are now being spoken of as a model of balance and maturity. It's as if they've gone through a long storm only to find calm seas ahead. Rich Gannon's words might have simply accelerated what was already in motion, the rebirth of the silver and black. Fans in Vegas are buzzing with energy, and ticket sales are climbing faster than ever. The city that thrives on spectacle might finally have a team worthy of its lights. Still, the question remains, what exactly does Gannon know that we don't? Is this confidence based on locker room whispers? Or did he just let slip a truth that the Raiders were trying to keep under wraps? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Gannon's declaration has turned the 2025 season into must-watch television. The Raiders are no longer the underdogs. They're the storm on the horizon, and everyone's waiting to see just how powerful it's going to be. Part 2. If you think the buzz around Rich Gannon's comments is going to fade, think again. Over the past few days, the story has only grown louder, spreading like wildfire across the NFL universe. It's no longer just a rumor, it's a movement. Every major talk show, every analyst, every fan with a microphone seems to be weighing in. And the question on everyone's lips is the same. What exactly did Gannon mean when he said the Raiders were the team everyone will be chasing? Was it just hype, or was it a subtle warning from someone who still has deep ties inside the organization? Sources close to Gannon say he's been in frequent contact with several Raiders staffers, and that his words weren't random at all. Apparently, there's been a massive cultural reset happening behind closed doors, one that's redefined how players approach preparation, accountability, and team unity. If that's true, the rest of the NFL better be paying attention. A Raiders team with discipline and focus is a dangerous one, especially with the talent they've quietly assembled. Something special might be brewing, and Gannon may have just let the world in on the secret. And while Gannon's statement caught the public by surprise, insiders claim this transformation has been months in the making. Reports suggest that the team's front office has adopted a completely new approach, less about headlines, more about results. Gone are the days of impulsive signings and emotional decisions. The Raiders have leaned into analytics, leadership training, and performance psychology, creating a culture where accountability isn't optional, it's expected. That's the kind of environment championship teams thrive in. Gannon's praise for the quarterback wasn't offhand either. It's rumored he's been working privately with him, offering insights on reading defenses and mastering tempo. If that's true, the Raiders may be blending the wisdom of the past with the innovation of the present. It's a dangerous formula, the kind that turns a playoff team into a dynasty. And when a guy like Rich Gannon starts praising the inner workings of a team like this, it's not just talk. It's foreshadowing. The Raiders might be turning into something the league hasn't seen in decades, a juggernaut wearing silver and black. Still, skeptics are holding the line. They point out that every few years, the Raiders are labeled back, only to crumble under the weight of expectation. But this time feels different, more grounded, more authentic. The players' energy is contagious, the coaching staff's messaging is consistent, and the front office is finally operating with unity. Gannon alluded to that during his radio hit, saying, "It's not about noise anymore. It's about execution." Those are strong words from a man who knows what dysfunction looks like. The Raiders' biggest challenge now might not be their opponents. It could be themselves. Staying humble, staying hungry, and proving week after week that this isn't a mirage. But if they manage that, if they truly keep their focus locked in, this team has the pieces to make a serious run. Every great story has its turning point, and maybe, just maybe, Gannon's comments mark the moment the Raiders' narrative shifted from redemption to domination. The NFL might not realize it yet, but history could be repeating itself. Even rival players are starting to feel the tremors. Several have admitted anonymously that Vegas feels different this season. There's a swagger, but not the reckless kind, a calm, controlled confidence. The kind you see in teams that know they're good, but don't need to shout about it. That's what scares opponents most. Gannon's comments might have just put a spotlight on something the Raiders were hoping to keep quiet, that they've found their identity again. It's not about being flashy, it's about being feared. Their defense has grown meaner, their offense more unpredictable, and the chemistry on the field looks like something out of a championship reel. Analysts are now revisiting their preseason predictions, quietly moving the Raiders up the rankings. One even said, if Gannon's right, and this team really clicks, the AFC West might have a new king. It's a wild thought, but not an impossible one. Because when belief, preparation, and momentum align, even the most unexpected teams can rise to the top. And that's exactly what seems to be happening in Las Vegas. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The city itself is feeding off the energy. Vegas loves a spectacle, but this time it's not about the show. It's about pride. Fans who once watched their teams struggle season after season are now walking with heads held high, wearing black jerseys like armor. Billboards around the city flash images of Raiders legends alongside current stars, as if passing the torch from past to present. Gannon's statement seems to have unified not just the fan base, but the entire city. You can feel it in the air, that mix of anticipation and electricity before something big happens. Local radio stations can't stop replaying his words, dissecting every syllable like it's gospel. Whether intentionally or not, Gannon has become the unofficial hype man for a potential new era in Raiders football. If this is all just talk, it's the best marketing campaign the franchise has had in years. But if it's real, if the Raiders truly are ready to rise, then Vegas might soon be home to more than just bright lights and casinos. It could be home to a champion. Now, as the regular season draws closer, all eyes are on the silver and black. The stakes couldn't be higher. Gannon's comments have done more than just spark conversation. They've set expectations. The Raiders aren't flying under the radar anymore. They're in the spotlight, and with that comes pressure. But maybe that's exactly what they need. This is a franchise built on defiance, on thriving when everyone doubts them. Maybe this time, the doubters are fueling the fire instead of extinguishing it. The idea that the Raiders could not only compete but dominate is no longer fantasy. It's a conversation being had by credible voices, including one of their own legends. And if Gannon's instincts are right, 2025 might be the year when the Raiders remind the world who they are. The story began as a rumor, a whisper from former MVP. But whispers have power, especially when they echo through the halls of a team that's been waiting decades to roar again. Sources within the organization suggest that McCaffrey's integration into the Raiders' offense has been both meticulous and deliberate, with every practice, playbook meeting, and film session focused on extracting maximum efficiency from his multifaceted skill set. Rumors imply that offensive coordinators are designing bespoke packages that account for every possible scenario, blending traditional running back responsibilities with receiver routes, motion, and option reads that challenge conventional defensive paradigms. Fans are already buzzing with speculation about the potential for game-changing moments, imagining plays that are simultaneously daring, precise, and perfectly executed, turning every down into a suspense-filled event. Analysts have begun to predict that this level of offensive innovation could force opponents to rethink standard defensive strategies, leading to adjustments that might inadvertently create opportunities for other Raiders players to shine. Inside whispers suggest that McCaffrey's presence might even influence the mental approach of the team, instilling a confidence and daring that spills over into all aspects of performance. from special teams to situational awareness. The narrative is one of transformative potential, where a single, high-profile signing not only reshapes tactical planning, but also ignites cultural and psychological shifts that could propel the Raiders into a new era of competitive relevance, setting the stage for a season defined by creativity, unpredictability, and high-octane football. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.